Hey everybody, welcome back to Inside the Force. Yes, Inside the Force with Dave and Martin. Cyber Ren, how are you, sir?
Doing all right, bud. Trying to get the last bit of summer in as I could.
Yeah, that's true. We're coming to an end here. You more so than us, I think. You're a little bit north
A
of
little
some
bit.
of us in the States.
For us, it's really July and August is what our summers are. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Well,
It takes
ours
a while.
kind of bleeds into September, a little bit of
Yeah.
October. But
Yeah.
anyway, thanks for sitting in for
No
Miss
problem.
Hannah, who is she's working on a Disney cruise, I think.
What?
This week? Yeah, so she's
How dare she?
yeah, exactly. How dare she? So she's out this week, and she'll be back next week to tell us about that. But
Yeah.
I had him come on because we want to talk through a little bit of just a little bit of news that's been kind of floating around, mainly from San Diego Comic-Con that happened this
Yeah.
past weekend, which kind of flew under the radar, I feel like, because there weren't a lot of, the big Hall H where you kind of get DC and Marvel and maybe, and obviously even Star Wars sometimes to do these big panels. They were absent this year. They didn't make a lot of announcements. They didn't make a big splash. I mean, there's obviously big movies and stuff have already come out leading up to Comic-Con. Fantastic Four and Superman and things like that have already hit theaters. So
Yep.
they didn't really have much to talk about. So there wasn't too much revealed. There were some things that we'll talk about. But one thing we'll talk about later is George Lucas actually made his debut, Comic-Con debut, which is hard to believe. But he was there.
I wonder if they knew they didn't have much content to present, so they probably sent him quite a few bucks to say, "Hey, come on, we need one big name here."
Probably.
Yeah.
We'll talk about what he was doing there because it wasn't necessarily Star Wars related, but
Right.
of course he did get asked a bunch of stuff like that. But beforehand, again, thanks to my patrons as always to support the show. We'll run through some comments here that you guys had from our last episode, and of course, Martin and I do the Mandalore podcast together. A little bit of a hiatus since there's
I know.
no shows for a while.
Oh,
So
it's
actually,
bad.
I'll probably pull him in on this show a few more times just so that he can stay in the know for Star Wars.
Yeah. We'll have to share it on the Mandalore too, so people can feel like they're getting content.
Right.
Yeah.
Our last episode, we did talk about the Emmy nominations that Andor received. And
Yeah.
and our big topic was the disappointment in how many non-acting nominations they didn't get.
Well, there was pretty much none, wasn't there? It was just Forrest Whitaker was the only one.
Forrest Whitaker, and I think Alan Tudyk got one as well.
For voice acting, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing for
leads.
Diego, nothing for Genevieve. It was just very, very even Luthen, Sarsgaard. It didn't. It's just very disappointing. But
And I was going to comment on your guys' post. Like, I think definitely Genevieve and Luthen Skarsgård, I think the two of them were really probably the strongest performers. I can put my Star Wars fandom aside. I can understand why Diego was not nominated, because when you kind of look at his role, it wasn't really a big stretch for him. Like there wasn't really any big Oscar-worthy, Emmy-worthy type of, moments for him. It was pretty much just a character that's easy for him to play. So I can understand that one. With Genevieve, though, I just think she expressed everything. Like, you could feel what she was going through. Every emotion, all the turmoil and how much pressure was on her shoulders. We could feel that as viewers. So for sure, I definitely think she deserved it. At least a nod. At least a nomination.
yeah, I agree. I definitely so.
Yeah.
Thrawn over there he commented, he's saying that he was very disappointed with the lack of nominations for acting as well. So many actors deserved at least a nomination for this season, even for supporting roles. He's like, I feel like White Lotus stole all the nominations due to their large ensemble cast, which I think is a bit unfair. Thanks again for all you do. Yeah.
Have you watched White Lotus?
No.
Yeah, I started it.
Probably never will.
There's nothing in there that, what I'm saying with Diego, there's nothing in there that is Emmy worth acting. It's the most simple, basic show, and the acting is not a stretch. It doesn't deserve to be winning by a landslide. No.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And then Brandon says, this is where he's talking about, I think, because we also talked about Outlaws underperforming. And he says, I think they should have had Outlaws like No Man's Sky. They could have done Tatooine, Coruscant, and then randomly generate the rest of the planets like No Man's Sky. Also, with No Man's Sky, you could upgrade ships and capital ships and have bases. Yeah. So, I'm not familiar with No Man's Sky. I looked it up a little bit. It seems like it's one of those big open world type games, very similar to Starlight. I think that just came out last year as well. Yeah, I mean, I think even though I'm not familiar with that, I think there could have, it could have had different, gameplay style with Outlaws. I do believe that, again, when you got Ubisoft, I think, that did it, they were just modeling after the other games that they have done. And
all the Assassin's Creed.
There's limitations, there's just limitations. Yeah. I will say I did play I went back and played the new DLC that with Hondo in it.
I haven't tried it yet.
That was pretty good. Yeah.
Cool.
It does open up a new world, so it does feel like you can keep expanding on this if they really wanted to. But again, with it underperforming, I don't know if they're even going to worry about it anymore. Who knows?
Well, I mean, it had some troubles because didn't they change publishers or something happened right before its release or shortly after the release? There was ownership change or something. And then
I don't know about that, but I know that they rushed it. And so when they released it, there were a lot of bugs.
Yeah, I know. We talked about a few of them.
Yeah. And then they eventually released a patch and kind of fixed it all. But then, I just don't think, look, I think the game is enjoyable. I think
I have fun playing it.
Yeah, you can do a lot. It's just not, not everybody is drawn to the underworld stuff, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think on the top level it's the Jedi and Sith, and then the second level I think it's Rebellion and Empire, and then down here is the kind of the underworld, right? So I mean, now that I'm through all the missions, like, will I ever sit down and kind of just play around in there? I mean, I might, but you're kind of doing the same thing over and over now. You're not really.
Yeah.
I'm just finding new stuff and unburying new treasure. I don't know,
It is a little bit repetitive in that sense. Like no matter what planet you're on, you end up doing all the same missions anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just a different location, so the visuals are a bit different, but you're doing the exact same stuff. Sneak into here, grab that, open that, come back again. Deliver me this. Like it's so
exactly.
But I mean, I do have fun with it. I haven't played it in a while. I've been preoccupied with slaughtering zombies on Dead Island 2. So
oh, nice.
That's gripped my interest right now. So I haven't put in Star Wars for a little bit, but
I actually forgot about. I was just on my Xbox the other day looking around for different games, and I forgot about the Indiana Jones game.
That came out too. I got to get it.
I know. I'm probably gonna play that. I totally forgot about that game. So I think I'm gonna get that.
A lot of these games are just getting released very quietly. Like, there's not a lot of fanfare, not a lot of promotion. You would think Indiana Jones, that would be a massive push to say, hey, continue the adventures. Here you go.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like they did a decent job when it marketed it, but I think it was late last year. Outlaws was already out, so I was in the middle of playing that. So I'm not a gamer enough to like be playing multiple games at a time. I pretty much have to stick with one for a while.
Well, especially with the amount of time we have to play too. That's why it's been Dead Island lately for me. Yeah. But it's unfortunate. And then I heard, I don't know if you guys talked about it on your last show, like there was a sequel planned to Outlaws, but now they've canceled it.
I have not heard that, so I don't know. I can't speak to that or
in
not.
A couple articles.
I don't know if there was a sequel or not. Yeah, I haven't heard anything. I just know there's several games still, in the works, and there's one called Zero Company that's coming out early next year. That's kind of the next game. But
we got the third Jedi game, right?
I think there's a third one. I don't know if that's actually getting in the works or not. Because they got that game Eclipse that's still kind of been in the works. They got the remake for Knights of the Old Republic. I mean, I don't know necessarily where they're going with this.
I think they need a hit on their hands. They need, whether it's a movie.
Well, the Jedi series is pretty decent hit. So
right. I just meant like Star Wars overall. Like they need to get the interest in Star Wars back up again, because right now it's really kind of
and plus not having much going on, it's really
makes it even worse.
Really makes it worse. Yeah,
but I mean, Acolyte didn't help any. Skeleton Crew was okay, and it's Andor season 2 really got a lot of push. So I felt like Star Wars was, everybody's talking about it, but now it's just teetered off again.
Yep, Andor's kind of died down, and Okay, so at Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con, again, Star Wars didn't really have a big presence there. They had a big floor exhibit where they were celebrating a lot of the props and things like that from the movies.
Right.
They did mention and start pushing, because they released the 50th anniversary logo for Star Wars.
Yeah, 2027, I think, right?
2027.
Yeah.
And they announced, actually, that Star Wars A New Hope will be playing in theaters for its 50th anniversary, the weekend leading into May the 4th. So starting April 27th, leading into May the 4th, you will be able to watch. Now, not only will you be able to watch A New Hope, but it's the actual 77, I believe, the 77 original release, not the special editions.
That was going to be my question for you. Which version are we getting?
According to what I'm reading on StarWars.com, it says re-release of the 77 Classic. So now, I remember for a long time, George Lucas said that version will never be seen again.
Yeah.
Of course, he doesn't have the rights to it anymore. So Disney apparently has decided to, in April of 2027, release the actual 77 version of the movie.
See, now that will be cool, because that's the one I did not see in the theaters. Like, we were really young.
True.
So Empire Strikes Back was my first theater Star Wars movie.
Yeah. I didn't actually go until Return of the Jedi. I was born the year Star Wars came out. But later in the year, so I wasn't even born in May of 77 when it first came out.
I was 4.
So you were 4.
So didn't know what Star Wars was until Empire came out, and then at that point Star Wars was on VHS, so I watched it at home, and then went to the theater for my. It was actually, I remember it was a birthday. I got to go watch Empire on my birthday. So
same. So Return of the Jedi was my first, and I was 5 or 6, I think.
Yeah.
So I don't, to be honest, I guess that's true. I'm not thinking about it like that. I mean, I have seen the special editions, in the theater, so I did see it in the theater.
Yeah.
But I probably I think about it as I thought maybe I'd take my daughter, but I don't think my daughter would have any interest, because She thinks these movies are so old, which is 50 years. I mean, it's 50 years old.
Yeah.
She has a hard time watching them, right now. Because
that makes us feel, when you're saying a movie that we loved is 50 years old, that makes me feel old. Man.
Oh, it's a whole two generations removed at least.
Yeah.
I mean,
oh my gosh.
I mean, just think about just think about 7-year-olds that would go, 8-year-olds that would go see it. They're not at all going to be impressed by that movie. So, which is a little bit of a topic that we'll talk about later.
I find it funny though, every time Star Wars comes out, it makes another, 50, 60 million. Like it keeps inching its way up. Do you think it's fair when you're looking at box office records, like the highest grossing movies of all time? Star Wars, this is going to be, it's what, 4th or 5th time come into the theaters. So is it fair to have, to allow it to keep adding up more and more and more to work its way up the list? Because it used to be number one, and it's not after Titanic and Avatar, but every time it comes up, it usually jumps a spot or two.
Yeah, I mean, it measures how much it makes in the box office. I mean,
yeah, that's all it is.
Movies get re-released. Not often do they make that much. I mean, it won't even. I don't even think this will even make that much money, to be honest. Because for one, it'll be
the diehard fans like us.
Yeah, and it'll be limited release. It won't be on every theater. So,
that's true.
I mean, it might be on one screen, maybe in multiple theaters, but it won't be like multiple screens like it is these days with these movies. So,
I'm just looking it up. So, currently, Star Wars: A New Hope has made $775 million and change worldwide. That's its total right now.
Yeah. Is that the adjusted or is that actual?
That's worldwide. That's not just domestic. That's international.
I know, but is that adjusted for inflation or is that
it's
real dollars? Because sometimes sometimes they adjust. You see it. They have an adjusted list.
Oh yeah, no. This is real dollars. Whether it costs you $4 to see it in '77 or $20 to see it now, it's just actual dollar amount. It's Box Office Mojo. That's where I always go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See it. Well, see what the adjusted is then. See how much it actually would because it's interesting to see the top 10 because most of the time it's not in the top 10 unless you adjust it for inflation.
No, I think the number one adjusted for inflation is On Golden Pond. I think is the number one movie.
On Golden Pond. What is that?
Yeah. See? I know. It's some crazy old movie from way back when. No. I'm only looking at the Star Wars numbers right now, but it came out in 77, 82, 97, 2014, 2020, and then 2027. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So on its 50th anniversary, it'll have come out 6 times in the movie theater. It's had 6 chances to get to number 1.
So all time. What is it? So all-time chart, lifetime grosses. I mean, I'm looking at Box Office Mojo too. So domestic is episode 7. It's the highest grossing. Is that what you see? All time? 936 million?
I just searched Star Wars. I didn't look at a full listing of everything.
So that's to be honest, I didn't even know that was right. I thought it was Endgame. Endgame's number 2.
Avatar's number 1.
Do what?
Avatar's number 1. Top lifetime gross.
I'm seeing domestic. So worldwide, you're right. Avatar.
Yeah, worldwide is Avatar. It's almost $3 billion.
Yes.
And then Endgame, and then Avatar Part 2, and then Titanic. Star Wars Episode 7 is number 6. That's the first Star Wars movie.
Yeah, worldwide, $2 billion. Jeez, that is crazy. So I believe if you go down, Star Wars Episode 3, there's a Star Wars Episode 3 is 78.
You're still looking at domestic?
Okay, A New Hope is 119th, which, like you said, 775 million.
Yep.
Yeah, 119th all time, with being how many releases it had.
5 times it's been out so far.
Yeah, yeah. So I thought this did adjusted. It doesn't do an adjusted list.
Yeah, not on Box Office Mojo. There must be a different place you can look at it. But yeah. Anyway,
I'm gonna look it up real quick. Adjusted. See if I can find it. Here's all time adjusted. Yeah. So Gone with the Wind is number 1. Adjusted.
Oh, that's the one. Gone with the Wind. I said Golden Pond. Sorry.
I was about to say. Okay. Yeah. Gone with the Wind. Yes.
Yeah.
That's true. Correct.
Yeah. And Star Wars is actually number 2.
Star Wars is number 4.
Oh.
Do you see number 4? I see it. I see Avatar is number 2.
Top lifetime adjusted grosses. I did find on Box Office Mojo. It has Star Wars as number 2.
Oh, how do you find that on there?
I just searched adjusted lifetime gross box office, and it gave me this site again.
Well, I'm on IMDb, which is Box Office Mojo, basically. It's got.
Yeah, it is by IMDb, right?
Because it's got adjusted. It's got Titanic at 3 with 3.7 billion, and it's got Episode 4 at 3.65 billion.
Oh, so this is adjusted depending on what year you choose.
Yeah.
Box Office Mojo, yeah, it's depending on what year you choose.
So Episode 4 is 4th if you talk about adjusted for inflation. That is crazy.
Wow.
The 77 movie. That's how popular that thing was back then.
Yeah, but I mean, Gone with the Wind at number 1 it's from 1939.
Well, that's true. Yeah, because adjusted is 4.45 billion.
That's crazy.
And that's a 4-hour movie.
That's insane. Yeah.
Anyway, okay. Little sidebar there.
Yeah, we're just rambling now.
We're rambling. Well, I was interested in seeing where that was. I mean, that's huge.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's crazy.
It's been out a couple times, and it's gonna make some money, but it'll make a few million. But
if it comes out around here, I'll go see it. It's always fun to see that on the big screen.
Yeah.
Why not?
Okay, for Comic-Con, there was a Lucasfilm Publishing Panel, which most of the time these things are very interesting. I didn't find this one as jaw-dropping because there wasn't too many reveals.
Right.
Just really talked about some books that are coming out, like the art. They do those art of books. Art of the Acolyte is coming out. They are doing one. They are doing a visual guide, updated visual guide for The Mandalorian.
Oh, cool.
In anticipation of the movie coming out next year. Comics, you still got Dr. Aphra, and you got Legacy of Vader, Jedi Knights. Now they did announce, which again I don't know how interesting this is going to be. They did announce a prequel book for Star Wars Outlaws. It's called Low Red Moon, and it stars ND5 and Jalen Rax, the guy you're working for.
Okay.
So there's a book about them coming out.
I guess it builds some depth and history, right? Okay, cool.
So there's your publishing announcements for that. And then, of course, George Lucas makes his appearance at San Diego Comic-Con. Now, the big thing about his appearance was, again, not necessarily Star Wars related, although everything Star Wars is surrounded by this guy.
Yeah. How do you not talk Star Wars with him?
Exactly. But the main thing that they were talking about is a museum that he is opening or partially creating with other group of investors.
Right.
And it's actually called the Lucas Museum of Narrative Art.
Cool.
And apparently what was discussed was how he still has, even though he sold the rights of Star Wars to Disney, he still had a ton of the props and items from the films, the original trilogy, as a collector. You think we want to talk about the ultimate collector? This guy has the original stuff. For example,
You can't beat that.
Luke's X-34 land speeder, like he still has that.
Jeez.
So this museum is going to house all of this stuff from the original trilogy and even the prequels, I believe. So it's pretty cool, I guess. You know, I believe this is going to be opened in California. Not sure if I don't think I saw a date or anything this thing's going to be open yet, but he was there to talk about mainly this museum. Guillermo del Toro was also there, as well as Doug Chang, who's obviously a big executive designer for Lucasfilm.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, again, interesting that he went there to do that. It's not like there's a big Star Wars thing tied to this thing, except there's going to be some Star Wars stuff there. But
I mean, really, if you step outside and look at it, like to talk about a museum, like museums aren't the most exciting things.
Right. Yeah, right.
So, like, I wonder how popular was this panel? Did he pack the house in, or you know?
I don't know. I'm assuming he did because, again, it is George.
Yes, and people want to see him.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
now, I don't know if I ever told you the story. I thought I told this story a long time ago on here. But I have been in the same room as George Lucas.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, Star Wars Celebration. And I can't even remember which one it was. I believe it was... Actually, I've been in the room with him twice, actually. But the first time, there was a Star Wars Celebration. I think it was Orlando. I think it was Star Wars Celebration 5, maybe. But Dave Filoni was holding a panel for Clone Wars. And he came out, and Pablo Hidalgo came out, and a couple guys came out, and they were sitting there talking. And we were there, and I remember just sitting there, just, you know, they were talking about the new season coming up and blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, they said, well, someone asked Filoni a question, like on the moderator asked him a question. He's like, well, you know what? I don't necessarily know the answer to that, but I know somebody that does. And all of a sudden, George comes out, and he was not expected to be there. And I mean, I never heard a room like that erupt so loud.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
I can imagine. I mean, he's the creator. He's the one. He's
I know,
guy.
man. I know.
So how many people would you say were in that room at that time?
There was that's the thing. It was Clone Wars back then. This was back when Clone Wars kind of first started. So it wasn't actually that popular yet. Like it was this. I'm telling you, if this was Celebration 5, so this must have been 2010. So Clone Wars had only been out like maybe a year or two.
Okay.
You know, this is like gearing up for the second season or the third season. So it wasn't. So I'm telling you, the room wasn't that big. It was probably maybe like 300 or 400 people in it. It was very small, and it was one of those ones you didn't have to wait in line too much. You know, you kind of stroll in, and I mean, people went crazy because they were like, "Oh my God, I couldn't believe I didn't go to that."
Yeah.
But then the next celebration, which was a couple of years later, there was a big interview session that went on with Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart, the old, Jon Stewart from The Daily Show. He came in and interviewed Lucas at this morning panel, and you had to camp out, which we did all night the night before, outside the Orlando Convention Center. So we got in line around 9 p.m., and the panel was 9 a.m.
Oh, man. So you just hung out on the street.
But, well, yeah, they had this the convention center had this big area right outside. So it was like underneath this concrete awning, it was probably at first, when we first got in line, there was already maybe 30, 40 people in front of us. And then eventually it just kind of grew. But the coolest thing with that, Martin, is across from the convention center was this big hotel, and most of the celebrities, people were staying there. Well, 3 of the Clone Wars actors saw the big crowd and came down and hung out with us. It was Tom Kane, who voiced Yoda.
Cool.
It was D. Bradley Baker, who did the clones.
Yeah.
And it was James Arnold Taylor, who did Obi-Wan.
Oh, wow.
those three guys came out and I got pictures with them and we're talking, and it was the coolest thing that they came out and did that. And in fact, I remember calling like a buddy of mine, and James Earl Taylor like talked to him in Obi-Wan's voice. But that was the coolest thing, because they saw how passionate we were, and they wanted to come hang out. And then Lucasfilm handed out all this like exclusive merch to just the people that were waiting in line, So
that's pretty cool.
It was pretty neat. Anyway, it was one of the best times I remember.
Those are good experiences. Yeah.
Great experience. Yeah. So George, yes.
Jeez.
I've seen George a couple times, but never met him. Never shook his hand. That'd be a huge bucket list part of mine.
Well, he's in his 80s now, isn't he?
He's up there, man. Yeah.
I mean, boy, and he's got billions to play with. What's he gonna do, man?
Well, and unfortunately, that's partially why I think he did this, is because he's got to give his stuff to somebody, to something.
Yes.
He can't take it with him, so I think this is his last effort to get rid of everything he has and make it mean something, put it out there for everybody.
Bit of a legacy.
See. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about that. We got a council sessions. We're going to talk about a little bit about George's stuff. So
I'd go see it. I mean, it's a museum. It's authentic props from the movies.
Yeah.
I'd go see it. Why not? Get your picture taken sitting in the speeder.
If I'm around it, I will go see it. I don't think I would make like just the effort just to go there, but
no.
Yeah.
If you happen to be there.
Yeah. Exactly. In fact, let me click on this link, because I think it might. Will this link tell us when it's going to? Okay, here it is. It's going to it's open in 2026, and it's going to be. Where's this going to be at? What is that? Is that Los Angeles? Yeah, I think it's Los Angeles. Yeah, it's going to be Los Angeles. It is kind of crazy looking the way it's shaped.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it looks like a spaceship.
Well, of course it does.
It's crazy looking. Yeah.
Jeez. What's it called? What would you look up?
Lucas Museum of Narrative Art. And it's a website, lucasmuseum.org, actually, if you just go to that.
Yeah, I see it. Oh, yeah.
I mean, that thing
looks like something
crazy,
out of the Jetsons, man.
Huh?
It looks like something out of the Jetsons.
I know, right? I mean, it's got greenery on top of it, on the roof.
Yeah. Huh.
Okay, now that looks pretty crazy. I might have to definitely go see that.
Spaceship of a museum lands in LA.
Los Angeles, I'm definitely going. Actually, I'll be there. In fact, we'll be there, because in 2027 is the Star Wars celebration, celebrating the 50th anniversary.
Oh, well, we're going.
We're going.
Yeah.
So we're going to go see this in 2027.
Okay.
So, all right. There we go.
There you go. We'll report on the ground.
Yeah, we'll do that
for everybody.
Okay. The other thing that
such a random episode today.
It is. I mean, there's just some random news out there, right? So
yeah.
The other thing I kind of wanted to talk about, they also revealed at Star Wars Celebration, was this image of the first image officially from Maul, Shadow Lord.
Right.
Did you see this image?
I did not see the image.
Okay. It's nothing crazy. It's just Maul with his double-bladed lightsaber, and he's dressed pretty much exactly the way he looked at the end of season 7 of the Clone Wars.
Okay, I'm trying to find it. There's a lot of pictures. I don't know which one is.
If he's standing there with the saber kind of behind him, and he's got the blades. It almost looks like there's a ring of flames behind him.
Okay, yep, I'm looking at that one. Yeah, and he's got like it looks like he's wearing 3 belts of steel around his waist.
Yes, yeah.
Yep.
That's kind of like his thing that keeps them together.
Man, that's an image. That's a screenshot from the show.
Screenshot from the show, apparently. Yep.
The detail on that is way more than we've seen before.
It's getting better.
Holy
crap. Animation is getting crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's insane looking.
So, again, not much nothing else revealed besides that image. So
what's the release date roughly on it? Do we know?
It's just says 2026.
Okay.
Doesn't say when. I'm going to bet it's probably early, like February-ish.
Yeah.
Leading, because I think, Mandalorian and Grogu comes out in May, so I wouldn't think it'd be overlaying with that.
No.
I think it'll be before that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't know. How, you still pumped about this series?
Totally. Their animation is just supreme. Like they haven't missed yet with, Clone Wars and Rebels and all of these. Bad Batch. Bad Batch was my number one. Our special episode on the Mandalore podcast. Bad Batch was my number one.
That's right. That was
the animations are
yeah.
I love it. So are you pumped?
I'd say this style of animation for sure, and this kind of storytelling.
Yes.
Also, a part of this news a little bit. Sam Witwer was on Katie Sackhoff's podcast.
I saw that.
Oh, you did see that?
Yeah.
And he mentioned on there, which I thought was pretty interesting, that the whole process when he was doing the Clone Wars and even Rebels, he said he would go to Dave Filoni and make all these suggestions. Hey, what if Maul did this? Or what if he tried this? What if we went down this, storyline?
Yeah.
And he said Dave kept saying, this is not Maul's story. This is Ahsoka's story, or this is Ezra's story, in relation to Clone Wars and Rebels. So he was always kind of shot down for all the stuff that he suggested. But now it's his story, and he's able to make these suggestions. He said he's very involved in, the creative of this thing, because he's had all this knowledge and thought about this with him, that he's now able to suggest, and they're able to actually, you know what, that's great, let's do that, or let's take it this way, so
right.
So it's not only Sam, not only is he voicing it, but he's actually contributing heavily to where Darth Maul's going in this.
So remind us, what's the timeline of this story?
So apparently this takes place roughly about a year after we see him in the Clone Wars, the end of the Clone Wars.
Okay.
So it's been about a year. He's traveled the galaxy a little bit, trying to find what he's gonna do.
So this is what the last we saw of him in Clone Wars was Ahsoka beating him, and he got like locked up and put away, basically, right?
Yeah, you remember she let him go on the ship as the ship was going down.
Right, and he
gets in that ship and takes off.
Right.
That's the last we saw of him.
Yeah. So this is in between that and his demise at Obi-Wan's hands.
Well, no, not necessarily. Well, kind of. So when he takes off away at the end of season 7, timeline-wise, the next time we see him is actually in Solo, back in live action.
Right.
When we find out that he's leading Crimson Dawn.
Crimson Dawn, yeah.
And then further down, a couple years, about 5-6 years after that, is when we find him again in Rebels. They come across him on Malachor.
Mm-hmm.
And then leading up to, the fight with Obi-Wan where he is killed. So,
okay.
So leading up, so from when we see him up until Solo, it's about 9 years. So this is what I think we're getting, is that kind of gap on how he builds up and gets into Crimson Dawn.
More underworld stuff, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, they're really trying to push it. They want to tell these underworld stories.
He does take apprentice, apparently. The young
the
Twi'lek.
Yeah.
That, we were supposed to possibly see in George Lucas's 7, 8, 9, but,
Yeah.
it's interesting that they're going to use that. But he does take an apprentice, and I don't know, again, we'll see. We'll see how Crimson Dawn comes about, because he did have a criminal underworld when he had the Shadow Syndicate, which we saw during the Clone Wars. It was him and Death Watch and so and the Pikes and things like that. So he kind of formed them all together before ultimately breaking it up. So it's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, totally interesting. Going to be see where that goes.
Yeah, I'll ask you all that again when the show comes out on Mandalore.
I know.
What's the timeline of this thing? Explain it to us.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because we've seen a little bit of this world, this part of the timeline with the Vader comic, because there's a Vader comic series that takes place right after Episode 3 and kind of shows his journey forming the Inquisitors and finding his lightsaber and things like that. So we got kind of that side of it and his fortress being built and all that.
Right. And
of course we got the Ahsoka side a little bit, where she gets recruited by Bail Organa and excuse me, and all that. But yeah, we don't know the underworld side of it, because with the Empire growing and getting bigger and expanding with their military might, all of a sudden now there's stormtroopers everywhere, and we kind of see that in the Bad Batch, right? We kind of see that period is the same time period.
Yeah.
But because of the Empire and the Republic's no more, that's when the underworld starts really kind of growing and spreading and trying to fight for power, as much as the Empire will give them. Yeah. So you have all of these factions out there still, and a new one is about to emerge, Crimson Dawn, which now that it's been announced or now that it's been revealed, we know Crimson Dawn survives a long time. I mean, Kira is still head of this thing beyond the original trilogy. So
it's in the game Outlaws.
You
work for her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's whatever he builds, that it lasts.
Yeah.
So interesting.
It'll be cool. I'm really looking forward to it. I think, maybe we'll get a little bit more of a view into the dark side stuff than we got with Acolyte. So maybe they've learned their lesson and they're going to tell more stories from the dark side.
Yeah, I'd be interested. I'd be interested to see if they're going to be bringing any Jedi in this, that have survived Order 66.
Yeah.
I'm assuming this young Twi'lek is probably that. Either she's a former Jedi that came over, or just someone he finds and has Force ability. It's going to be cool to see.
Well, I mean, you can call Maul one of the villains of Star Wars, because that's the way he presented himself. But when you see his story in Clone Wars and Rebels and stuff, like, I think he's one of these characters that has such a tragic story, because he was betrayed so many times and abused, and like he just never really got a chance to be anything but a bad guy. And yet every once in a while there's hints of something there that he wants to do good, or wants to be good, or wants to help somebody. Like, there's always been little hints of that somewhere in his story, and that's what makes him so interesting.
It definitely does.
Yeah.
It definitely does. Yeah, he's I don't know, it's one of the things, what do you call it? Like, he just can't catch a break,
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I mean, he just can't catch a break. But
I mean, Palpatine was not nice to him at all.
No.
But
he's also, it's crazy because he's one of these guys where it's like Boba Fett, because we in Empire Strikes Back, Boba Fett's barely in it, but he became this like insanely popular character.
Just because he looks so damn cool.
So exactly, and Maul, Darth
Same
Maul
thing.
in Episode 1, I mean, everybody's like floored that he died, or apparently died.
Yeah. Well,
And
at the
it's like-
time, he was cut in half.
That's right.
That was it.
And everybody thought, because episode 2 comes out, there's no Maul. Episode 3 comes out. So it's like, okay, we only got this guy for half of a movie, and he barely says anything.
Yeah.
But everybody was crazy about him.
Crazy about it. It was kind of, I remember when he came out and we saw him, before we all found out that he died, like everybody thought, this is the new Darth Vader. This is the Vader of the prequel trilogy.
Right.
We're going to be dealing with this guy through all 3 movies. No, we'll kill him halfway through.
I know.
What? Yeah.
I know. And it was crazy to even think that Lucas was going to bring him back in episode 7,
Yeah.
like years later.
Yeah.
That
Man,
would have been interesting.
Don't you want Lucas to make those movies just because?
I honestly, I not make the movies, but I would love to read like a comic based on it.
Yeah.
You know, I'd love to see a comic version of what his, but they would never do it because they would be like, because if you loved it, they'd be, they wouldn't win. They could not win. So, all right. Anyway,
Too bad.
we'll keep tracking on when this thing is going to debut. I mean, look, if this thing is starting in early 2026, there will be some kind of teaser or some kind of trailer. I anticipate a teaser dropping. I don't think there's a D23 this year either. Is there? Is there a D23?
I don't know.
Let me see.
Well, there's nothing coming out. There's just Visions season 3 coming out this year. There's nothing left to release this year,
You're
right?
right. No, you're right. Visions is coming out,
Yeah.
but no, I don't think there's I don't think Disney is having a D23. So that's not this year either. So yeah, that's probably next year. So there's not a big event where they release a trailer. So it will just probably drop online sometime.
Yeah.
Maybe sometime in the fall. Oh, you know what? It could be around football season because, you know, Monday Night Football, which is ESPN, which is owned by Disney. Sometimes they
Right.
push, you know, trailers and stuff around that time. They could put
Right.
something out around that time. So I would anticipate something coming out, a teaser trailer sometime, because, you know, they did release a teaser trailer at Star Wars Celebration in
Yeah.
Japan, but they didn't release it to the public. So I bet you sometime in August, September, or we're in August now, but late August, early September, I feel like there'll be at least a teaser.
Right.
So
Funny you
talk
mentioned
about that.
football. Side story. Do you see what the very first preseason game is?
I know Thursday night. This Thursday night. Yeah.
It's Eagles and Bengals.
Eagles Bengals.
Yeah.
Yep.
Preseason little rematch.
Yeah.
But of course, it'll be all like second, third
It'll,
stringers.
yeah, no starters will be there, so that's all right.
Still.
I'll watch it still.
Yeah.
Getting ready for football season.
Yeah. Not far off, man.
All right. That's it for this episode.
Yeah. Just a rant. It's really, we're grasping at straws for
Oh,
Star Wars
trust me,
content.
that's every week. Me and Hannah. I'm
I know,
pulling
so
stuff here and there.
I
Trying
apologize
to get
for it being kind of a,
Well.
let's just get on here and talk about something. But
yeah. Hey, we at least we had something. Though.
yeah, that's true. We got to figure something out for Mandalore.
But thanks for joining me on this, Martin.
Anytime. I'm always the backup.
Yeah, look for our next council sessions. It should be up now, depending on when you listen to this. So go to our YouTube channel at Inside the Force. You can find all of our council sessions with me and Martin on there.
Good discussions.
We'll be back. Yes, we'll be back next week with Hannah, kind of tell us how her trip went. And we'll hopefully have some more news to talk about because, like you said, it's get a little tough.
Yeah.
Get a little tough. All right. Take care, everybody. Thanks again to our patrons. Thanks, Martin, as always.
Anytime, man.
We'll see everybody soon. Take care. Have a great week. May the Force be with you.